right. Okay, so our focus for today's stretch is going to be focusing specifically on the back or the spine. We're going to do a lot of things with the upper body, but we are going to move down the spine almost into our hips a little bit as well. Before we get started with that, a lot of times whenever I'm dealing with the back, especially whenever we get into the lower back, I like to do some forward folds just to stretch out that lower back. So let's go ahead, have those feet about hip width apart, and then we're gonna slide our body down our legs. Just allow your shoulders, allow those arms to fall forward and hang. Try to relax those legs. And just hold that there for a few seconds just to allow the lower back and the hamstrings to stretch out just a little bit. I love to do this at the beginning of most of my stretches just to loosen up a little bit. Doesn't matter how far down you go. If you get stopped because of mobility halfway down, that's completely fine. If you can touch the floor, then that's great. All right, let's go ahead, move on. I'm going to go into a wide stance. And so I've got my feet greater than shoulder width apart. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, but in that wide stance. So now I'm scooting those hips back and I'm allowing my body to fall forward. This is one of the few times you'll probably hear us say that it's okay to have a bend in your back. Most of the time, whenever we say to keep a straight back, it's because we are lifting things. We've got resistance placed on there, and that's when we want to keep that back straight. But I like to go ahead and put a bend in that back just to allow that to stretch out a little bit. You'll find that whenever you're in this wide stance, you'll probably be able to go down a little bit lower. All right, now let's go ahead. You can go ahead and come up if you need to reset, but we're going to go ahead and go down in this position again, except now we're going to go down into our wide stance. I'm going to shift my torso towards my right foot. So now I'm touching my right toes with both hands. Keep the right hand on your right foot, and then we're going to go ahead and take our left hand, rotate the torso up, point that left hand towards the sky, and then we're going to come right back down to our starting position. So let's go ahead and do a few repetitions of this, nice and slow and controlled. Always great to work in a little bit of spinal rotation. Nice job. Let's go one more time. Rotate the torso, brace the core, point that left hand towards the sky, and return. All right, let's go ahead and come back up, reset, and let's go down to our left side. So now I'm touching my left foot with both hands. Keep that left hand on your left foot. Right hand points to the sky as you rotate your torso. Anytime I do rotations like this, I like to think about continuing to brace my core throughout the entire movement. That's just because we don't want a lot of rotation in our lower back and our lumbar spine. We want to make sure that a lot of that rotation is coming from our mid back, from our thoracic spine. That's what we want to have good mobility in. Lower back's for stability, mid back is for mobility. Let's do one more nice, slow, controlled rotation. All right, nice job. Go ahead, come back up. All right, we're going to go ahead, start from the top. We're going to do a little bit of neck rotations real quick. So you can go ahead, stand up straight or sit up straight. And then we're going to take our neck and we're just going to actively rotate our neck as far to the left as you can. So you're not going to use your hands or anything to help press your neck like you might if you were popping your neck or something. But what you want to do is actively rotate your head to the left as far as you can while keeping those shoulders facing forward. Don't hold that for too long, just a second or two. And then we're going to do the same thing on the right side. Rotate that neck to the right, far as you can comfortably. Hold for a second or two, and then return to the center. Let's go ahead and repeat this. So we're going far as we can left, back to center, far as we can right. Now, whenever you do this, you want to make sure that you're never getting to a point where you are causing any pain, any unwanted tension. We don't want to mess anything up, especially in the neck. And the neck can be pretty sensitive sometimes. So just be careful as you're doing it. Let's go one more to the left. One more to the right. All right, nice job. All right, now moving down, we're going to go ahead and do a few chest openers, great for the shoulders, for the scapula, as well as the chest itself. So a lot of times whenever we do chest openers, and you can start out standing up just like I am right now, we're just having a slight bounce in our movement. So I'm allowing momentum to pull those arms back as far as they'll go, and then I bring them back forward. Just a great way to loosen up the front of those shoulders, introduce a little bit of blood flow to the chest. But now we're going to go ahead and take that a step further. What we're going to do is go into a leaned over position. So I'm going to take my hips, press them back towards the back wall. Now that I'm in this position, I'm going to do those chest openers, except what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow momentum to pull those arms as far back as they will. You might feel a little bit of a pull in the front of your shoulders. That's fine as long as there's no pain associated with that. And then from there, allow the momentum to follow those arms through. Give yourself a big bear hug and repeat. So whenever we're doing this, you're getting a little bit of extra movement, a little bit of extra pulling on some of those little muscles that you'll find in between your shoulder blades. So sometimes, especially after I do a pulling day at the gym, a back day, whenever my back's really sore, sometimes it feels really, really good to do those because it spreads those shoulder blades apart, stretches out some of those smaller muscles you'll find in that region. Nice job. Let's do one more. All right. Very nice job. All right, so next up, you can do this one standing or seated. I'm going to go ahead and do this one seated. I'm grabbing my chair. We do this one quite a lot, especially if you have come to our stretch breaks in the past. You see us do cat-cow stretches a lot. We're going to do the first half of that. We're going to do the cat stretch, except we're sitting upright instead of down on the floor. And the way that we do that is take those shoulders. We're going to press them forward, extend those arms out in front of you, tuck your chin, and then return to your upright position. So whenever we do this, you don't have to hold that for more than 1 or 2 seconds. We're doing repetitions, not like a static hold. Nice job. And we're not going to do too many of these. These are really, really great for spinal mobility. Let's do one more good one. All right. Very nice job. All right, now go ahead, stay seated. This next one you want to be in your chair for. What I'm going to do, I'm going to sit upright, take my left leg, cross it over my right, and then from there, you can either grab onto your knee or you can grab onto the arm of your chair, but then you're going to use that to leverage yourself and twist to the left. Now we're just going to hold this for 3 or 4 seconds, and then you can return to your normal position. Go ahead, do one more repetition. 3 or 4 seconds. Nice job. Go ahead, take that right leg, cross it over the left, and take your left hand, either grab onto your knee or grab onto the armrest. And then twist. Hold 3 or 4 seconds. Return to center. And one more big twist. Hold 3 or 4 seconds. Ooh, got a little bit of a pop. And return. All right. Nice job. All right, guys, that is our stretch break for today. That's all the time we have together. Thank you so much for joining me. Just as a reminder, if you are doing the or participating in the Trivia Mania and would like to answer the question of the day, go ahead and stay on real quick. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording before we throw that poll